Shalom, friends. The angel of death, Malach HaMavet, was fully in his boss babe era, but with such a busy career, perhaps adding an intern to the mix had just created too much chaos. Maybe it was inevitable that something, or someone, would slip through the cracks. Welcome to Jewish Law Reactions, The Wrong Miriam. Rav Bava bar Abaye was a renowned sage in the Babylonian city of Pumbedita. He was the kind of guy who, had he lived in modern times, would have hosted his own paranormal investigator podcast, delving into the mysteries of the unseen world. Driven by an insatiable curiosity, he sometimes made, shall we say, some inadvisably risky choices. One time, to see the invisible demons that always surround humankind, he put cat placenta ashes in his eyes. He may or may not have seen the demons, but he certainly had to see an ophthalmologist. Yet he was undeterred. As part of his research into mysterious and mystical phenomena, Rav Bava bar Abaye would often do ride-alongs or just have tea with the angel of death himself. Rav Bava would ask death all kinds of questions, and the angel in turn was rather gratified to have such an attentive audience who took copious notes and actually seemed to care. Because, to be honest, in other areas of his life, he was feeling more than a tad unappreciated. The angel of death had a nemesis now, you see, a workplace rival, Elijah the prophet. One of the rare humans who had the audacity, the sheer chutzpah, to ascend to heaven without bothering with the proper first step of actually dying first. For the angel, this was a source of great personal angst. He often thought of this select group as the ones who got away. Elijah was now a super popular fan favorite shape-shifting entity. He flew across the world, sometimes faster than the angel did himself, as another messenger of God, visiting humanity and helping them in times of need. People liked Elijah. They didn't typically scream in terror upon seeing him. They opened their doors to him. When the angel dropped into a city to collect some souls, he was greeted by a cacophony of loudly barking dogs. But in contrast, when Elijah popped by, dogs greeted him with play bows, wagging, and the ritual presentation of favorite sticks. It just wasn't fair. So one day, Rav Bava was listening to the angel of death and jotting down some notes. Suddenly, the angel of death's new intern, who we will call Chad, appeared before them. But Chad was not alone. The soul of a woman trailed behind him. Chad said, "Hey, boss, and, guy, I killed a lady you wanted me to kill." The angel of death used his million eyes to look between Chad and the woman, and he said,
"Chad, who is that?"
Chad replied, "She was scheduled to die today, and you said you had to be here, so you asked me to go get her, and I wrote it down. Her name is Miriam." The angel of death rested his head in his hand like he was the Picard meme.
"Chad, I told you to bring me Miriam, the braider of hair. This Miriam is the Miriam who raises babies. You have killed the wrong Miriam." "Chad, we have talked about this. I hired you to help with my workload, to make my job slightly easier, not harder. I'm gonna need you to be a better team player. Pay more attention to detail. But I suppose this is partially my own fault. When Solomon suggested I hire an assistant, I realized I should have actually have read your resume."
And Chad was like, "Okay, I do now recognize that I didn't understand the assignment at all, one iota. But also, can you not make me the scapegoat here? Honestly, I feel like just like our work styles aren't compatible, and as a manager, you're a little toxic. I just think I'm one of those beings who could actually benefit from like a lot more micromanagement rather than less. So like this doesn't happen again. I do understand that I was the one who fucked up, but to be honest, let's look at it this way. I don't have any power, but you do. You have a lot more. The differential is like major. So could you please just like bring her back to life or something? No, you have the power to do that." The angel of death's migraine was starting to come in like a wrecking ball. He said to Chad,
"That's not my forte. I'm not the angel of life. Since she's already here, let's just keep this between us and counter toward the number of the den, all right?"
Rav Bava, trying to process what the actual fuck was happening in his living room, said, "I have a question for Chad. Are you saying that you were able to kill this woman despite the fact that it was not her technical time to die yet, as previously declared by heaven? Is that accurate? Okay. So this is what happened. I was just going past and I saw her sweeping the oven in preparation to light it, and then she lit it and she had just like bad luck, I guess, because the fire just got like on her. So I saw that opportunity and I remembered how on my last um performance evaluation, you said that I should take more initiative in working independently. So that's just what I was trying to do. So like, do you not want me to try to work independently, or like what? At this point, Miriam, completely understandably, may I add, said, Oh, so you're saying it's my fault that you can't tell people named Miriam apart? Is that what you're saying? Pop quiz, motherfucker. Can you see my hair? Do you see it? Does it look to you like I've recently had the time to go to a salon for braiding or literally any other purpose? No, because I run a daycare. I loved my job and I was good at it, which is more than we can say for you, Chad. Ineptitude incarnate. It wasn't my time to die yet. You robbed me of the rest of my life. And Chad said, okay, in my defense, this internship is, it's unpaid. Rav Bava said, but how can you have the right to do this, to take someone before their predestined time? And the angel of death replied,
That would be a great time for everyone to get off my case. Isn't it written in Proverbs, for there are those swept away without justice. Mistakes happen. We're only not human.
Rav Bava was like, oh, I totally hear you. I take your point. But didn't your friend King Solomon say that one generation passes away and another generation comes? Every life has a predetermined amount of time they're supposed to live. Is this a common occurrence? Does this happen often? What do you do with the souls you take away too early? He turned to the angel of death, who had all of his eyes closed and was feeling around in the pocket of his robes for some Excedrin.
I metaphorically drive them around the parking lot of existence until the years of their generation are, complete. And then, to make sure that I am still in line with corporate policy, I drop them off with Duma, the angel who oversees the souls of the dead.
What? Wait, pause. Let's circle around the parking lot right the fuck back to the idea that I have to stay with you two in limbo until however many years from now when I was actually supposed to die. And nobody has to take responsibility for that. This is not fair. This is not just. This is bullshit. And you all know it. Rav Bava said, I will admit, this is a lot to take in. So, what do you do with their surplus remaining time? And the angel replied,
Well, I find a Torah scholar who I admire and want to support, and I donate the deceased's extra time to them. Kind of like a bonus for their hard work and dedication. Isn't that rather nice of me? I'm a real patron of Torah scholars, but you already know that. After all, that's why I'm here. The angel of death stood up and patted the horrified Rav Bava on the shoulder. Then he gathered his inept intern Chad and the righteously irate soul of Miriam, the daycare provider, and they disappeared into the night. In the distance, dogs began to howl.